Okay, so now we will see how to process data from RNA-seq, and then later on we will see also from the chip-seq. So for this specific video, we suppose that we have run already the htseq-count tool or the featureCounts tool. So these tools, we run them after we have, so that the pipeline starts with star, and then we get the mapping results, and then we apply one of these tools, and then we get the count. So for every gene, we have the number of reads associated with this gene. For example, here, for gene 1, from a dataset, we have count 35 reads. Okay, now the problem is the following, that if we have a bunch of datasets, for example 5 datasets, and we have applied star on each one of them, and then we have applied the feature counts on each one of them, will result with 5 different count datasets. So in this example I have 2. So this one has been produced by one dataset, and this one has been produced by another dataset. Now quite often later steps in the pipeline requires that we don't have separate datasets, but we have one single matrix. In this case it's pretty easy, because the first column contains the gene name and is common between the two datasets. So in fact what we would like to get would be one file like that, where the first column will be the gene name, common in both, and then the second column will be the information from the dataset 1, the other column will be the information from the dataset 2, and if there are additional datasets, we would like to have them in additional columns. Okay, so this is the logic, and let's see now how to do that with Galaxy. Now this dataset, the result dataset, will be input for tools like htseq or htseq-2. So this will be the main input. Okay, let's see how to do that in Galaxy. So as an example here, these are the reads, the counts that have been obtained from a star output dataset, and we see here that for this gene we have so many counts, for this gene we have 0 counts, for this gene we have so many counts, and so on. And as you see here, I have several datasets like that. So this is 1, 2, if I go below we'll see more. In fact I have 6 datasets like that, and I just want to merge them in one data matrix. So to achieve that, I have used a tool which is called multi-join. So if I write here multi-join, let's try to find it somewhere here. So it's this one, multi-join, and then in parentheses combine multiple files. Column join could be another one. It didn't work very well for me, but multi-join worked pretty well. So if I will click here, or maybe to click here to see how I have used it, we select an additional dataset. So I have selected here the 194 dataset, which contains the results of feature counts on some data. Be careful here that you should choose the counts, because the feature counts tool reports 2 files, the counts and the summary. you should use the counts file, not the summary one. And then if you go to additional files, you can select all other files that you want to merge with this one. So the way that I did that was to click here, and then I have this browser here, and then I go on the files, and I just click here, click here, click here. I can select all the ones that I'm interested in, right? And then column with values to preserve. We want to show information from the second column of each file. So the first column contains the G name. So based on the G name here, common key column is the column 1. Based on the G name column, we need to merge the files, but the information that we want to show is the column number 2. And then we can choose these additional options. Add header line to the output file, yes. Input files contain a header line, yes, they contain a header line. And values to put in unpaired empty fields, 0, we leave that as it is, and then we just click execute here. And the result is this file. That the first column is the key column, and then the other columns contain the read counts from the file that we want. Be careful here, because the order of the columns will be the same as the order of the files that you have chosen. So for example, this is important because if you want the 3 first columns to be from a certain condition, this will be easier for a jar later on, then you should select the files in the appropriate order. Okay, so this is how we merge files for a jar or after the feature count analysis.